I meet people all the time. Oh, I don't set goals. Do you have intentions?
Yeah.
Do you have aims? Do you have desires? Guess what? These are goals.
Yeah.
Welcome to Carrie On, the show where we explore reinvention, self-discovery, and empowerment before, during, and after midlife. I'm your host, Carrie Murray. It's time to keep our head above the chaos and carry on.
When did coaching stop being about helping people and start becoming a multi-level marketing scheme for personal development? Let's talk about the experts, the trap of Guru-itis, because not all advice is good advice, and some of it is keeping you stuck. Enter Debra Eckerling, the book proposal expert who helps thought leaders cut through the noise and own their voice and actually get their ideas out into the world. This isn't about writing a book. It's about rejecting the formula, trusting your instincts, and building a message that's yours. Are we empowering women, or are we just repackaging insecurity and selling it back to them? Because you don't need another guru. You need your voice. Welcome, Deb. I'm excited to have you here. Deb, just for context, Deb and I met at a networking event through Katie Chen.
Right.
Katie Chen, who's a natural connector. And at the time, I've been toying with the idea of writing a book. And one of the silent auction little clipboards said, an hour with you, someone who coaches people to get them ready for publishers. And I was like, ooh, this is someone I want to spend time with. Well, ever since that meeting, you can't get rid of me. Here we are.
I am so ridiculously lucky. And we meet the best people through the best people.
Truly.
I mean, come on.
Truly. And Katie is like one of those people. But I just remember at one point, like the event was still happening and you and I just kind of pulled to the side and we're like, let's just you and I chat.
Well, I was like, okay, great. I'm going to offer myself a silent auction. And then I noticed, and I knew who you were because, everybody knows who Carrie is because she does the best interviews. I mean, basically, that's pretty much,
Here we are.
Right, exactly. And then I saw that you bid on me, and I'm like, yay, I finally get to meet Carrie.
Yay.
And then I'm like, thank goodness for name tags. So.
Right? Exactly. It worked out. So tell the people about your work that we're doing together, but how you support authors.
Okay, well, my name is Debra Eckerling. People call me Deb, so obviously.
Great
this is so
transition.
funny. You know what? I am so used to asking questions,
Yeah, it's
answering
different when
them. It's
yeah.
a little bit goofy.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I am the book proposal expert. I write books on goals and lifestyle, but my big impetus, my big soapbox is at helping people write book proposals so they can get a traditional book deal. Because I feel like if you have to write a book, if you've got this passion, you want to get it out in front of as many people as humanly possible, right? But a lot of people don't understand how nonfiction books work unless it's a memoir. You don't need to write the whole book. What you write is you make a plan, book proposal, and it turned out that I'm very good at it. So I leaned in. Yeah.
And during that process, you're writing your own books as well.
Yes.
Wow. And so, as such, we have today one of your books, 52 Secrets for Goal Setting and Goal Getting. When did you become the goal girl?
Oh, well, I've been the goal girl for longer than I've been the book girl.
Okay.
Honestly. I was doing events at Barnes & Noble in Schaumburg, Illinois. So I've lived in LA 28 plus years, so do as much math as you want. But I was doing events, and one day someone came in and said, would you start a writer support group? And I said, if you think people will show up, let's give it a shot. And it was a hit. And for me, it was like, okay, what did you accomplish? What support do you need? What are your goals for next time? And I personally would never do anything. I personally would never ask anybody to do anything that I was not prepared to do myself. So I was shortly I am aging myself. Shortly out of college, my degree's in journalism. I wanted to do freelance writing. So I would have the goal of writing a slice of life or an essay or something because I didn't want to ask them to set goals when I wasn't setting them myself. And lo and behold, I was at some sort of Generation Expo and they're like, I'm like, are you looking for freelancers? Do you have clips? Yes, because I led this goal group. I was setting and achieving my own goals, and I ended up writing for them for a few years. So
wow.
It really, this power of saying what you're going to do in front of people. I mean, wait, this was way before masterminds were a thing, right? This was
Right.
in the 90s, which seems so long ago,
You must
right?
have been a child.
I was. So I moved here, and I'd always talked about this goal group that I loved. And so I restarted it out here in, I think it was 2002. And then it just kind of evolved from being a writer support group to a group for writers, creatives, and entrepreneurs, because if you're one, you're the other too.
Exactly.
And then people would say, Deb, you're good at this. I've been trying to write my book for years. Can you help me? And we got it done in 3 months. Or, Deb, you're good at this. Will you speak at my event? So that's the way it developed into more than just this fun thing that I did, in addition to my day job in corporate communications and freelance writing.
Gotcha.
I always did like all of the things. And then we'll fast forward to 2018, my main communication client was going away. And I said, okay, this is a sign for me to really lean in to what I believed I was meant to do, which is to help people figure out what they want and how to get it. So my mom said to me, you hate SMART goals, why don't you create Deb goals? So the Deb method was born. And it's determine your mission, explore your options, brainstorm your path. So it's all about
Love that.
setting the foundation for your goals. And that turned into your goal guide. Oh, I'm telling like 5 different stories in 3 different ways, and I know you're following each and every one of them.
Yeah.
So I was all ready to self-publish. I self-published 2 books before, and I feel like I am such a fierce advocate of traditional publishing. I did the other things. I'm allowed to talk about
both. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was ready to self-publish the Deb Method as a book. I was really leaning into this. And somebody who'd gone to my live group, who always had a goal to do more networking, was at an event, sat next to the man who became my agent, told him about my group. We did a phone call. It turned out we knew each other's names because we both spoken on the writer's circuit. And he's like, tell me about your books. And I said, well, I'm about to self-publish my 3rd book, The Deb Method. He said, what is your goal? I said, to be the first person people think of when they hear the word goal. He's like, send me your book proposal. If that is your goal, you want to get it out mainstream. This was spring 2018. By the end of that year, my publisher showed interest. The book came out January 2020. So 6 weeks before the world had changed by circumstance, out came my book to help people embrace change by choice or circumstance. So,
wow.
Yeah. So that is how I became the goal guru.
Got you.
And now
Here we are.
well, I feel like I need to like thumb through a little bit further. So we're talking, this would be fall of 2023. I said to my publisher, shouldn't we do another book? And she said, yes, absolutely. And we were brainstorming ideas and talking about how we all have these little things that we do that make our lives better. And we hate's such a strong word, how it's very frustrating that there's so many people out there who say, do exactly what I do, and you will be as successful as I am. I mean, that doesn't work because we're not living their life.
Right.
We do not have their money, their background, their education, their experience, their all of the things. So that book, which originally went out as 101 Golden Rules for Success in Business, it came back as, Deb, you're the goal guru. We need goal in the title, which became 52 Secrets for Goal Setting and Goal Getting. And I'm going to tie it back into the book thing. You ready?
I'm ready.
My publisher said, this book proposal, I can't believe you wrote it in 2 weeks. It's better than people who slave for months. Is this part of your business? And I said, it's the Deb secret menu. Should it stop being a secret? Yes. So that was 2 years ago. And since then, I wouldn't say I haven't really flipped my business, but I flipped my branding, right? So now instead of project catalyst and author, I am the book proposal expert who writes books on goals and lifestyle. I have to keep adding the lifestyle because that's the one that's coming out this fall.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But I love the hustle of the book proposal because you get all of your ideas and you can mold it and shape it. But the thing a lot of people don't realize is that publishers need books they can sell. Agents need books they can sell. You're not doing anybody any favors by self-publishing because and yes, we know there are like a handful of success stories, but because of that, everybody thinks their self-published book's going to be the next thing. Good luck. I wish you well. More likely, they're going to get more out of it if they go traditional, which is what I help them do.
Yeah, I like that. And I really wanted my book to go a traditional route too. And so when I first learned that about you, I was like, the idea of self-publishing just seemed like, okay, I think it's an important path, but it seems very connected to a coach, like someone who has a coaching program or someone who's been working with clients. And then what they do is they use the content from working with their clients to be the content in the book. So it's like repurposed content and woven in with their story. So then now they can say, well, now I'm an author. I have this coaching program, but now I'm an author and a coach. And I'm a part of 2 self-published books that I've contributed to. And I couldn't tell you the metrics on how they've sold or what they did or the marketing behind it. But it was every chapter in there, it was literally someone's story that we were coached on by the coach themselves. What is your experience? We're going to talk about Guru-itis, which I think is hilarious because when I had Broad Network, we had a lot of coaches, and there's a very distinct difference between a coach with a lot of inherent value and knowledge and then a coach that is selling a script or a program or a quick fix or snake oils and I really at first didn't really navigate those 2 type of coaches before, but now they've become more and more obvious. And I feel like we've become inundated in the last 5 years with coaches specifically for women over 40 who are in this kind of vulnerable transitional state that they are very much marketed to and pushed and you have to do this, and when really the coaching program is a bunch of platitudes and it's a bunch of like, just manifest. And if it doesn't work, then it's your fault because it didn't work, because you didn't believe in it. You're coming from a place of scarcity. I can give you all the vocabulary you can think of. But I want to know your experience with the Guru-itis of it all. When did you first be like, wait a minute, what is this? Is this multi-level marketing or is this an actual person who's going to help me?
Well, 52 Secrets for Goal Setting and Goal Getting really came out of that because I figured, what if and it's 52 secrets, but I interviewed 60 achievers in business, tech, entertainment, food, of course, Katie Chin is in there, and other creative fields, because what if I got like one thing from one person? What if I got one thing from one person and put them all together? And because all of these people who say, do as I say, do as I do, but of course they're also like, and pay me money, because their program is how they got wealthy. My favorite, and I'm not going to name drop, is a coach who says, save your money so you could spend it on me, and I will help you get rich. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I've been to conferences where and I know the formula. It's a 2.5-day conference. You come in Friday, they strip you down, they get you raw, they get you vulnerable, and then Saturday you start the day totally charged, and they just feed you all of this you're gonna do this and you're amazing, it's your mindset, you're gonna go here, but you meet good friends, and then by Sunday it's just I'm glad you enjoyed the conference, you spent $2,500 to get here. Right now I got a $20,000 program, and I'm not kidding, one conference I went to, they said, and if you can't afford it, there are people right over there at the table that are about to give you a loan, that you can open up credit cards. And she gave a list of things you could sell, create an Airbnb to afford her coaching program. And basically she was training them to do what she does. Create a conference, strip them down, build them up, pitch the big program. It's a very, I can see,
it's icky, because that same person who says, save your money, spend it on me, I was invited as a guest, because I would not spend money on any of this, but I was invited as a guest to the 3-day program, the virtual one. On the first day, there was a woman in Santa Monica who was in hysterics, and they kept because they wanted to uncover your pain. Right. Let's strip you of everything, and let's get to the pain so we can rebuild you. And I wanted to and be like, where do you live? I need to come over and give you a hug, because it was not that far. It was Santa Monica, not that far from me. I could not believe they just kept going at her and at her and at her. And I couldn't even tell you what her trauma was, but they just kept picking at that scab. And I'm like, I was done. I think I left after that session. But that's what they do. It's like, okay, you can be worthy again if you pay me to help you do the things. And to be honest and to be fair, men do it too.
Sure.
I know we're picking on women, but I think it had to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think the model came. I mean, it feels very a la Tony Robbins circa 1988.
Right.
You know, he's on the stage and he's running around and he's just like, yeah, we're going to do it. It's just like a lot of bro energy. We just figured out how to market it as women, softer, prettier, pinker, especially during the whole girl boss era of it all. But it kind of slowly became a little bit more than that when the coaches were starting to coach coaches.
Right.
And I feel like that happened in like the last 10, maybe 12 years. When did you start seeing that? All of a sudden, be a coach like me.
Oh, I think that was like right before the pandemic. And then the pandemic really, because you could pay $20 and become a coach online.
Right, right. And anything you want.
Exactly. What really gets me, and I am not trying to offend anybody, but these 20-something life coaches drive me bananas.
Yeah.
I mean, and I am sure there are people, just like the 5 exceptions to the I have a best-selling self-published book rule, there's maybe a handful of 20-somethings that have something to say, have been through the kind of trauma and gotten through it, where they can coach people who are older. You know, when I was in my 20s, I was smart, but I was always I am not a life coach.
Yeah.
I am a project catalyst. I am a goal strategist. Ever anybody call for 2 things to really get me? They call me a life coach or they say I do SMART goals, because I am neither of those things.
Right.
Drives me absolutely bananas because it's a skill set. Yes, you can learn the things, but if you don't have life experience, how are you going to connect with people?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I'm sure there are, just like you said, a 25-year-old that's probably experienced something that she can, you know, definitely speak to someone who might be in and around her same age. But for me, my age, I don't think I would ever take some advice from someone who's 5 years older than my own child.
Right.
And I just wouldn't see the validity or the kind of like accuracy in who this person is. Like, I don't know. So to say you're a life coach, to me, it's also so broad. Life coach. Well, whose life? What life?
But people got really bored during the pandemic.
Yes.
I mean,
We all
let's
did. Yeah.
We all did. We made a lot of bread, a lot of sourdough starters, a lot of little cottage industry, a lot of businesses. Just, okay, I'm bored. I'm going to start a business. But I think, and we could probably find the numbers, that coaching was probably really high on the list, because you take a couple courses, you pay your $20, $40, $500, whatever it is, and I am a certified life coach. You know, every now and then I'll get, so Deb, what are your qualifications for being a goal strategist? Well, I've been leading goal setting groups since the 90s. I have been leading workshops and speaking. My business background is communication and project management. And I created a system using my name. It was what I've been teaching all along, was the Deb method. Determine your mission, explore your options, brainstorm your path. I took my experience, my education, my specialty, and my love for goals, and I created something around it, which I'm going to tie it back to books. If you've done that, if you have, let's say, become I'm trying to figure out which the best way to put it, to become the goddess, the example of bringing women together, like yourself. If you're going to write a book, everybody needs to read it.
Yeah.
And people are only going to read it if you put it out there in a big way.
Yeah.
And as far as the write a chapter in a book, okay, fine. You want to do that? Dip your toe into publishing. I do have opinions about it, and some people do it in a nicer way than others. It's, be a best-selling author,
Yeah,
hey,
that's what
whatever,
you're sold, yeah.
right? If you are not ready to do your own thing, okay. And I have a really hard time saying this. Okay, no judgment, do it, fine. But you're not a best-selling author the same way someone who puts all of their love and blood and sweat and tears into writing a proposal, getting a book out in the world, and then promoting the heck out of it.
And marketing it like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while I'm on that tangent, we can get back to, dissing coaches in a minute. I hear this all the time. Well, I have to promote it anyway, so I might as well self-publish. Well, guess what? A publisher is looking for a partner. If you have a marketing plan, that is part of your proposal, and that is going to make you attractive to a publisher. How much support you get is going to vary by the size of your publisher, but there are plenty of small independent publishing companies, meaning they're not attached to some big entity, but there are also publishers of a variety of sizes, imprints. You need to give yourself and your book a chance. And that is why I love what I do, because I'm helping executives, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants who've created something to put it into a format that can get the book sold.
Yes. That's the ultimate goal, right?
Right.
Yeah, is to get the book sold, to put it on people's shelves, get it in Barnes & Noble, put it like wherever it is. And I know when I first started working with you, you talked about finding comps. Books are like, what's something that's similar to what you've written and how you can make it your own. And that was really eye-opening, because not only did you want me to find comps, but you also wanted me to find one that's in the last 3 or 4 months. And don't look at anything like, how many reviews I had to look?
Oh, no, it's ideally within the last 5 years.
5 years, that's
Right.
it. With how many reviews?
At least triple digits.
Yeah.
But better, you need at least one in the thousands or tens of thousands.
Gotcha.
But what you do is you want to find a book that is similar to yours, but different enough that people who buy it will also buy your book.
Yeah.
And so you want the ones that are highly ranking, but then, yes, you have to go down and make sure it's traditionally published, and then go see the number of reviews. And you want, like I said, substantial numbers, because this is proof to the publisher that people want this kind of book.
Yeah. And it's like, it becomes synonymous. Like, I can think of Jen Sincero, you're a badass. Like, you're a badass at making money. You're a badass. And it's like, she has that same, moniker, and you're just like, oh yeah, I can recognize the name, but they're all published and everything, but they all have that same vibe. They all have that same kind of cadence and tone, which is very enticing as a reader, because you know what to anticipate. You're like, ooh, it's a new Jen book. What's she going to say today? And she's very authentic as an author. Jen, if you want to be on the show, come on.
Today's episode includes a paid endorsement. As always, I only partner with brands I use, trust, and feel good about sharing with you. Enjoy.
Before we jump back in, quick story. For 10 years, my company was called BRA Network, Business Relationship Alliance. Support was literally my brand. So when I tell you I'm picky about bras, I mean it. And I'm obsessed with Handful. It lifts without wires, flatters without flattening, and feels good all day, not just for those 30-second Instagram posts. I wear it to yoga, I wear it to filming, I wear it when I need to feel pulled together but comfortable. It's the kind of support that doesn't squeeze you into somebody else's shape. Use code Carrie On at handful.com. Support and make it intentional. Now back to the show.
But tell me about your experience working with coaches, and kind of, have you ever found yourself, you sound pretty savvy, so probably not. Have you ever worked with people or entrepreneurs who have found themselves kind of in that coach funnel, and they're kind of struggling to get out of it?
I more find people in the self-publishing funnel and struggling to get out of it.
Gotcha.
I mean, I get emails, I get at least one email a week telling me that I need to write a book.
Yeah.
The snake oil salesman that you
Yeah.
referenced, it's like, if I'm getting these, imagine what other people who don't have this information are thinking. Oh, great, I get to write it. It's like, oh, be in our top whatever list, and it only costs $4.99.99.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So a lot of the people that I work, and this is really the first thing that I tell my clients, which I am certain that I told you as well, is whatever your topic is, if you are lucky and you put your heart and luck does have a little to do with it.
Sure.
But if you are lucky, you will be able to talk about this subject forever, right? So what is your topic? What is the thing that you love? And I have a little bit, yes, I still want to be the goal girl, but I will be honest. When I flipped my business from the Deb method for goal setting simplified to the book proposal expert, it skyrocketed because anybody who knew goals, was enthusiastic about goals, didn't need me to tell them how wonderful goals were.
Right.
And I had books and workshops, and that was fine. But with books, with working with these thought leaders, it's like, I always say my ideal client, and you really fall into this category, is someone who meets me and says, I've been meaning to write a book. This must be fate. The time is right.
Yeah.
Which is a really kind of goofy business model for getting clients, but sometimes it takes a while. I've had people who I met, I think one was like 8 years later, and one was 10 years later. They're like, Deb, I'm ready to write my book. Can you help me?
Yeah.
Which is great, but you need more clients than the people who
that kind of dip their toe
simmer.
in. Yeah.
But that's pretty much, if you are lucky, you get to live with your book forever. So as the expert on goals, who helps people write book proposals. Like I said, I've got my third one is coming out this fall. That's a great story. Can I tell that story?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I still do a little bit of freelance writing.
Okay.
And a year ago, I started writing for something called Third Act Magazine. And my friend Kristen Cofield, who is like the pioneer of active grandparenting, of course I need to interview her for this. And she did, her background is on culinary wellness. But she did a video with her holding her grandkid and standing up without using her hands to get up off the floor, talking about the importance of wellness as you are actively aging, and it went viral. And she's like, ooh, a niche. And she now has, I think, like 285,000 Instagram followers.
Wow.
I mean,
She
she
blew up.
is one of those stories that you try and emulate, but you can't. It goes back to the authenticity. You can't manufacture this sort of
Yeah, it's what is
thing.
it? Opportunity meets preparedness.
Exactly. So she leaned into this. I interviewed her and I'm like, Kristen, where is your book? And she's like, I know, I don't have the bandwidth. How about you write it with me? We'll do the book proposal, and if the book sells, we'll co-author. And I said, you realize I'm not married and child-free? And she said, yes, it's great. You have your lane, I have mine. So we wrote the proposal. Our agent sent it out on a exclusive submission, sold within a month, and it will be out this fall.
Hey,
so
congratulations.
Thank you. So yes, single, no kids, co-author of Active Grandparenting. But it's a really good example of the power of the proposal because what you need to do, I call it the 3 C's. Concept, what is a book, what makes it unique, why you need to write it, why people need to read it. And then context is where you are in the world. So it's your author platform promotion, your marketing ideas, and also, let me see. I like to do it in order. Author bio. Author platform. We put some testimonials and reviews if you have it in there. Marketing ideas, and then your audience, which is research-based, who reads these types of books, and salability, and then the comps, which we talked about, and then the third section is content. So that's your table of contents, your detailed outline, and your sample chapters. So we basically took one of her courses plus the information in her head. We turned it into a book proposal. We added all the nuances, but it was, like I said, it was very targeted. And we were able to say, this book does not exist. There are books on family dynamics, not that many actually. There are books on healthy aging, fitness,
Parenting
eating.
your parents. Yeah.
Exactly. But no one has brought all these things together. And so for the people who say, oh, it's going to take forever, a year from when the book sold. No, it does not always happen. Actually, all of my books have come out within a year. Just because, so I am definitely the exception. But when you write the proposal well, oh, I've also written all my books in 3 months. Because when you
Wow.
write the proposal well, it's all mapped out. All you have
Yeah.
to do is like fill in that coloring book. Bringing it back to the guru, if you know things, if you developed a system, if you've, what word do we use? Are you like the guru of developing community? Is that, what do you like
I would
to
say
use?
I have a natural ability, my kind of like secret sauce or like my superpower is connection. Connecting people. Like I can meet someone and be like, ooh, you have to meet this person. I need you to meet this person. And then what I did was just put all the women in the same room and just gave them the opportunity to connect themselves. So I create the container. And how I made that a business was membership, right? So then once the women were connecting and then hiring, making money, in hindsight, I should have taken a little bit of a service fee for that, but I didn't. It was just natural and everything. And then people just kept saying, oh, you're a bra member. Oh, she's a bra member. And then that's kind of my natural superpower is connection and community.
But you're taking your natural superpower and channeling it into a book.
Yes.
Because people need to know your secret sauce, which by the way is like my least favorite buzzword, but sometimes you need to
organic.
use it, right?
Yes,
Exactly. Because it's just a matter of if you are lucky, you get to talk about it forever. So the first step for anybody for working on a book proposal is, okay, what is the thing that I love? What do I need? What makes it special? What makes me special? What makes the idea special? Okay, let's get it out in the world in a big way because people need it. All these guru people who are selling the same thing, they are literally selling the same thing, which is the other reason why I said look at the comps first. When you're developing your idea, you want to see what is out there that is similar but different.
Right. And what other books are there about building a community, the impact of community, the culture in community. So it's been an interesting experience for me to be like, okay, who else is doing what I'm doing and how am I doing it different? Where when I see the gurus who are selling their empowerment package, it's just, and I especially see this, it might be because of Bra Network, but I especially see this with coaches that specifically target wealthy white women over 45. That are either going through a divorce or kids are leaving home, that are in a big milestone, going through menopause, they're in this big transition. And I feel like they just come out of the woodwork. Maybe because they have more time, because the kids have left home. Maybe it's because they're experiencing huge life changes and they're looking for community. And then it's kind of packaged, here's your community, but if you want to stay here, you have to pay to play. And then it gets, oh, well, if you want the next level, you want to, then it's like, oh, if you want the VIP, well, then it's going to be a smaller community and it's going to be this much. Then if you want the same thing one-on-one, now you're going to pay even more, but it's like, where's the cap? How do they, then you become a coach like me. So that formula I see over and over and over again. And when coaches similar to that would join Broad, they wouldn't stay long because the women in our group were pretty savvy and they were like, I know what you're selling. And then they would leave. And that's what they're also told to do. Find communities to find your clients.
Right.
And but we pick up on it. We're savvy about it. But there are vulnerable women out there that fall prey to this. And I see it all the time. And it's all over Instagram and all over TikTok. It's just you're constantly being fed what you could be doing better.
Right. And I think even more so over 50, over 60. I meet so many coaches for a post-career or third act.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two of them is good. I mean, I've got friends who do that.
I know
and
great
I know,
ones. Yeah.
but the ones that are preying on the people, can I tell you my other super big pet peeve?
Yes.
Is people who charge you to be on their podcasts.
Ah, yes. You'll get my bill in a week.
Okay, good.
Yes, or the pay to play, right? You pay to play and press and podcast.
Yes, everything. I remember, and this was maybe like a year ago. It was it was around the time that I was really leaning into Deb, the book proposal expert, and trying to get more press because, as we've determined, I am much more comfortable asking the questions than I am answering them. Anyway, I had their Facebook groups galore.
Right.
Where want to be a guest on a podcast. But this person came through someone tagged me. And so we had a conversation. She's like, oh, you'd be great on my show. Do you want me to send you I forgot if she said, my one sheet.
Right.
And I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, yeah. I said, is this pay to play? And she said, yes. I said, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And she felt like she wasted her time talking to me. I felt like she should have been upfront about let's have a conversation. But no.
Wow.
Yeah. I was, and then I get all the time, oh, do you want an article in this thing?
Yeah.
I've been a writer like since college. I've been freelancing since my 20s. I do not pay for people to write about me.
Right. And you have to write it, though. That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like, here, you can be featured as Women Entrepreneurs on the Ride 2026 for $599. Oh, and you have to write it, and you have to submit your own photos. So I'm doing all the work, and I have to pay you for you to do what? Put it online?
Oh,
So annoying.
Or there's a model of, we want to give you a free feature, we're going to send you questions, and they do the thing for free, but the upsells are ridiculous.
Huge,
oh,
yeah.
You want to framed this, or you want to be a feature that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only this to that. I mean, we could literally talk about, and I don't know if we want to call them scams, but it's almost like they're scams.
I mean, I guess they deliver,
but it's
just,
like cottage industries of getting people to pay money
yeah.
for things that I remember, and this was years ago, this was somebody, if you're writing a memoir, you need to write the whole thing. I was helping somebody write their memoir, and he was telling me, oh, I freelance for this and this and this, and I'm like, great. And I'm like, maybe I should explore these venues. Oh, well, I pay this for this and this for that. What?
Yeah.
No, it's bad enough people who write for free, but to pay to write?
It's crazy. Pay to play. Don't do it. So back to the book. We have to wrap it up. That we talk about this forever because we've seen it so many times. I really have to say I enjoy working with you. It's been really eye-opening, but it's also so me with goals is like, oh yeah, goals. Oh yeah, SMART goals. And then I completely forget about them. I'm also an Aquarius, so I have shiny object syndrome. So I'm just like, ooh, look at that. I got a new goal. What would you say to someone like me who struggles with not only, I'm great at setting goals, really great at setting them, but I'm not good at like getting them. What would you recommend?
Okay, well, first of all, I disagree. Because I meet people all the time. Oh, I don't set goals. Do you have intentions?
Yeah.
Do you have aims? Do you have desires? Guess what? These are goals.
Yeah.
I think, and this is what I believe I do different is setting the foundation. And this was, for the longest time, I thought this is what sold my first book because when my agent sent it out, he sent out 2 batches. So the first one, I changed one line between the first and the second version, which is when I said something like, whereas most goal-setting books tell you how to achieve your goals, only the Deb method helps you set the foundation for them.
Gotcha.
And I was certain that this is what sold my book. And then I just found out a few months ago, my publisher was like, no, I just liked your personality and that you were out there and all over the place. I'm like, also good to know. Because if someone is investing in a book, they're not investing just in the book, they're investing in you. But in answer to your question, because I will, and then we have to do the parlor trick really quick.
Let's do the parlor trick.
You need to think about it this way. What is your most recent win? And what win do you want to celebrate a year from now? And what are the little things you can do between now and then? And it could be in a year, by the end of the year, by your next birthday. But what do you need to do to get to the win? So don't even think about it as a goal.
Gotcha.
Think about it as creating this life that you deserve and desire.
I love that. All right, we're going to challenge the universe?
Yes. Okay. So I believe that this book, you can read it front to back, or you can just go to a random page.
Okay.
And when I do interviews, I love to say, okay, let's see.
Okay, you're going to say stop. Ready?
No, you're going to stop it when
Okay.
the universe tells you to,
Okay.
and let's see what
right.
they want you to know.
Okay. I don't like that page. Find the who's for your hows.
Okay, I want to know what page you didn't like.
Oh, I lost it already. I can also go commitment to conversations.
Oh, commit to conversation.
Every day I strive to make one new connection, drive one new conversation, have one conversation with someone inside my customer base.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but they're both appropriate to you. So the next one is find the who's.
Find the who's for your hows.
And that's basically finding people to do the things you don't want to do.
Oh, I like that. I got a whole list of that. I love that.
Which you're a great example of because, I need to write a book. I'm not going to do it on my own.
I needed you.
I'm going to seek out the right
so
person.
It says, uncertainty ignites opportunity, which transforms your life, but you don't need to do it alone. Find the who's for your hows. You have a goal, that's a how. Now, who can help you get to that how? I love that. This is so true because I do need support as
Well,
you
we
know.
all do.
Yeah.
And the person who wrote that one is Dave Sanderson, and he was on the plane that went down over the Hudson. He was the last passenger
Oh, wow.
off the plane,
Oh, wow.
and he talks about how that.
Waiting. Can you imagine waiting to get off that plane? Oy.
No, not at all. But this is what I love about the book is it's got actors. So the first one is Patrick J. Adams, which everybody knows from Suits. He's in
My brother-in-law.
Is he?
Yeah. Did we not have it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah, that's my former brother-in-law. But yeah,
Right.
he's married to Troyan, my sister-in-law. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's so funny. When you just said his name, I was like, how do you know Patrick? Oh my gosh.
So my friend Dylan Keenan, who is the last one in, I'm like, okay, Dylan, who do you know who's a name, who loves goals? And he's like, I'm thinking. And then one day I got an intro to Patrick. So that's how he ended up.
Oh my gosh, that's
In the
so
book.
funny.
That
What
is
a
hilarious.
Small world. That's so crazy. We've never come to this. Wow. Woo. Well, Deb.
That's hilarious.
Yes, it is. That's so funny. Okay. Well, let's land this plane, and we're going to land it on that note. I want you to tell the people how they can find you. We're gonna put the book and the link to all your books in the show notes, and definitely in our emails and our marketing and everything. But where can people find you if they have a great idea? They just need someone to help them with the hows.
Ooh, I love how you tied that in.
You like
Thank
that?
you. Yeah, that's great. So I am at the Deb Method everywhere on social media. If you go to thebookproposalexpert.com, you can learn all about how I help whatever stage you're at in the book process. I've got a workshop for people who are like wading in, trying to figure out how publishing works and really getting what their book title and their differentiation is. And then for people like you who are like, okay, Deb, I need to write the book. I do done with you, done for you, and guided. Oh, and book proposal makeovers. Let's say you have a book proposal that you wrote, but it's not getting any traction. I can work my magic.
And
But
craft it.
yes,
Love that.
but basically it's just, I do what I do because I love helping people share their voice.
Yeah.
You've got a story, you've got an experience, you've got things that people need to know. It is, I'm going to say, it's easy. Okay, it's as hard as anything else that you're going to do in life. But if you really want to get your voice out there, if it's important to you, if you know this is part of why we're on the earth is to share our message and to help people. So why
powerful.
wouldn't you try and get your book out there?
Yeah, it's so important because you also don't really know who else needs to be seen and needs to be like, yes, I've had that same experience. We recognize that in stories, even when we're little.
Oh,
reading
absolutely.
books.
You do not know who needs to read your book.
Right.
And you won't know until you write it, and they're not going to get it unless you get your book out in a big way. And I do want, so if you're like, oh, what do? I'm bombarded all the time with these people. Just to hit the pause button and be like, okay, let's look at the big picture. Why do I want to write this book? What is my calling? And then think, okay, is this guru going to get me there? Or do I need to seek out someone who's going to help me really achieve the life I deserve and desire?
I love that. Thank you so much, Deb. This is so fun. I'm so glad you got to carry on with me. I know we could talk about this forever. And everyone, please grab the book, 52 Secrets for Goal Setting and Goal Getting. I appreciate your support and me helping me turn out my story, which has evolved like 5 times. But when it comes out, we'll have you back.
Love it.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you could possibly, please subscribe, hit that little button if you're on YouTube. Leave a comment, maybe put a book emoji in the comment sections and let us know what your favorite book was or if you have an idea. And as always, like, comment, and carry on. And with all the chaos, what's my line? Keep your head above the chaos and carry on.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Carrie On. Be sure to find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And as always, like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And don't forget to keep your head above the chaos and carry on.